Hello, this is episode number 65 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast, and we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts, so don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all these platforms. Now, if you don't already know, this podcast is all about the hustle, it's all about the hard work, it's about the struggles, perseverance, and dedication to the craft. And today we've got someone who has all that, and let's speak to my latest guest. Now, he is a professional footballer with the reigning SPL champions, the Lion City Sailors. He signed for LCS after a recent stint overseas with Kedah FC across the causeway, that is. He started his pro career with the Young Lions way back in 2012. The S-League's Young Player of the Year award, that was what he won in 2016. The first local to win it in 6 years. Welcome to the Silverfox Hustle podcast, Mr. K Anumanthan.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Anu,
Yes.
how has it been the past few weeks, or actually a few months since you've been back from Kedah?
Mhm.
How has that experience been back from Kedah?
To be honest, it feels really great to be back. I'm very happy to see my family after 1 year, see my friends, my teammates. Even when I was playing against Hougang last week, it really brought a lot of joy to me to be able to shake my friends' hands again and
Right.
see them face to face. I'm just so happy to be back.
Great. Now, I usually start off with some warm-up questions to ease you or ease my guests into it, and I'm going to ask something that has got nothing to do with the podcast, nothing to do about the hustle. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe a little bit of hustle there.
Okay.
Let's talk about your beard.
Okay.
Since when have you had this full? I'm biased because I'm bearded as well, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
I like the look, right? But since when?
2015 actually.
Yeah.
I started to grow a beard because it was getting very lazy. Start to shave every 3 days.
Right.
For us, I mean,
Yeah.
every 2 to 3 days we start to see the stubble already.
Yep.
So I kept my beard all the way, and actually I realized, actually I can rock this look lah.
Right.
So I just carried on with it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I asked you this because before that I saw you using your comb, the
Yeah.
beard comb for that, and I do that as well. I do that as well. And then some people look at me and say, "What the hell is this guy doing?"
Yeah, they don't understand.
Exactly.
When it makes a lot of difference. But actually, I've been trying to change my beard, and I saw yours. So I actually like yours. The trim on the side and
Right.
here more heavy.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I should change it up a bit.
I've got a new fan in town. Thank you so much, Adu. Now let's get started, right? Let's talk about, I think from where you started out, growing up and your growing up days till now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long way, right?
Mhm.
And of course now playing for LCS. Tell us about your growing up days, where you started out playing football and stuff like that. Let's start out with family.
Okay, so I come from single parent family.
Okay.
Basically, my parents divorced very early. I think I was less than 6 years old, I think, when my parents got divorced first. So most of the time, my recollection of my childhood was my mom, my sister, and myself, the three of us, going through daily life. My mom used to be a nurse at a health promotion board.
Okay.
And the income that she brought in was not very high, and so she had to juggle my sister and myself. And so I recall sometimes coming back home and we don't have food on the table, so we will buy the $3 or $4 fried rice
Right.
from the Chinese coffee shop.
Yep.
And we will share that. The three of
Okay.
us will just share that. So I remember growing up in Serangoon Central
Okay.
in my early days.
Right. And your sister is a younger one, or the?
My sister is 1 year older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in CHIJ and I grew up in St. Gabriel's.
St. Gabe's, right?
Yeah, because my mom was a very staunch Christian.
Ah.
So she wanted us to be brought up the right way.
Okay.
And coming from single parent family,
Okay.
sometimes it's difficult, and you can easily be influenced into the wrong path. So we were really brought up by the wooden rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get whacked a lot.
No, a lot,
A lot? Really?
a lot, too much. Yeah.
Because
Sometimes
you were naughty.
No, but sometimes you don't off the light in the toilet. You never off the heater.
Wow.
Yeah, you kena a lot because
Really?
the house can catch fire. So we learned the hard way.
Okay. Wow. So are you a staunch Christian now as well?
No, I'm not
No?
actually. Yeah,
Okay.
I decided to choose my own path.
Okay.
in
And
religion.
and you went to St. Gabe's Primary and Secondary.
Yes, correct.
Okay. And Haris went to St. Gabe's Sec as well, right?
Secondary. Yeah.
I see.
Mm.
Okay. So growing up in a single parent family. It must have been hard, right? Like you said.
Yeah,
You know-
sometimes when I see kids with their fathers and all this,
Yeah.
it can get very sad. How I
Yeah.
wish I was brought up by a father. Like who taught me to tie my first tie. I had to learn some things myself. My first shaving blade.
Right.
Everything that a father would teach a son, like I had to learn it myself.
Right.
So
right.
I mean I'm not sad about that. I'm proud of where I came from and what I have now. But it taught me a lot in life.
You should be proud of yourself. That's a wonderful story as well to that. And talk about your foster parents. I think you went to live with your
Yeah, so most of the time, ever since I was 6 months, my mom would be working as a nurse, but
Okay.
she would do some side jobs as well. So there was no one to take care of me lah. My sister is old enough. I mean, 1 year older than me, but she
Yeah.
matured really early.
Okay.
So I had to be taken care of by my family that is not really blood related.
Okay.
They took me in when I was 6 months, and ever since then
6 months.
6 months old. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, actually, the story is the woman who took care of me, her daughter is close friends with my mom.
Okay.
So they met in a temple in Potong Pasir.
Right.
And my mom gave myself a 6-month-old baby to her and said, please take care of my son for a while. I do one round prayers and I'll come back.
Okay.
And so ever since then, I got very attached to her.
I see.
In the temple.
Wow.
So that was when she said, they decided, the story, blah, blah, blah. And then she started to take care of me.
I see. Well, that's like something like God sent, man.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, the way we met, I think it was meant to happen.
So they have basically been taking care of you since
Yes, even until now.
until now.
Yeah, as in
Wow.
they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
take care of me now, but I go there and they are my family. They are not a foster family. They are for me everything, my everything.
Wow, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And have you got siblings on that side as well?
Yeah, she has 3 daughters.
Okay.
They are old, they married and all that. But I look at them as my sisters lah.
Beautiful. This brilliant story, and of course you think about that, and then now where you are, right? I think it it's a wonderful story. How about schools, Adu? Academically, how were you in the terms of studies?
Well, actually, I think I have potential, but
Right.
I didn't really like to study. My mind was on football. I mean, you yourself as a footballer,
Yeah.
growing up,
Yeah.
football is everything. So usually, I would just be playing, recess time playing, after school playing. Even the report book, the teacher will put, if he focus on his studies as much as he
Yeah.
focus on football,
Yep. Yep.
he will be successful and all this. So, yeah, in school, I used to be very naughty lah, playing football and all that.
Right. Grades wise?
Grades
Okay,
wise, I will
average?
do a C, B, sometimes A, maybe P, A. The rest all C, B.
PEA, of
Yeah,
course.
Maths D.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maths. Okay. Right. Now, who was what got you started in football actually? Like even in primary school, right? What was it? Was it by watching TV or is it by friends playing football? What was it?
Okay, so I grew up in Seletar Hills where
Okay.
my extended family
Okay.
stayed. So Seletar Hills is a big football estate,
Yes.
Fandi used to stay there.
Yep.
His sons grew up there.
Yep.
So we all grew up together playing football in the park.
Okay.
And so the natural influence of football over there rubs off on you.
I see.
And you just end up playing the game.
In terms of idol wise, like even while watching TV, like or even locally, right? At that time when you were growing up, who was it? Football wise.
Oh, at that time it would probably be the Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo.
Okay.
2002 World Cup, he scored
Okay.
2 goals, and then
Right.
yeah, naturally you just start liking him lah. Whether he's your position or not, everybody wanted to be Ronaldo.
Yep. 2002 when they won the World Cup
Correct.
in Asia, wasn't it?
Yes, Korea, Japan. Yeah.
Yeah. Coaches in school wise, you had coaches in St. Gabe's, you had coaches in primary school as well, right?
Yeah.
So who were the coaches, the earliest influence on you?
My coach in primary school was Uncle Dean.
Okay.
This guy named Uncle Dean.
Right.
But most of the time, the parents will send the son to training and pick
Okay.
them up from training.
Right.
And if your family is a football family,
Right.
very easily you can get into the team. I think it's a Singapore tradition. Your father played football before, they know this and that. Very easily you can get. So, but me,
Okay.
nobody played football in my family,
Okay.
and nobody had sent me to training or take me from training. I had to
Okay.
take bus 105, put
Okay.
55 cents, and
Right.
go to training and come back.
Right.
So it was quite tough for me coming up in primary school to get into the team.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't even play because nobody knows the coach.
Okay,
from
wait.
my
Let,
side.
let, let, let me ask you this question. Then, in that particular time, right, in St. Gabe's, right, you try to tell me all those players, the parents are like knows or have been playing football or
I mean, most because St. Gabriel is known as a
right,
football
right.
school.
Okay,
So most of the times, the boys who join soccer,
okay,
the parents support them fully to
Okay.
to play soccer.
Okay.
Mine is like, you better study hard.
Yep.
Soccer is second.
Yep.
Boots also. My parents didn't. I mean, my mom didn't buy. We couldn't
Right.
afford boots.
right.
So my first pair of boots, I think my uncle,
Yeah.
who was from my extended family, he
Yeah.
bought for me first
Okay.
black Lotto.
Yeah.
My father also actually bought for me one boots. I had to borrow boots,
Yeah.
find broken
Yeah.
ones and all these lah. So it's quite difficult to get
Yep.
into the system.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about what you just said, right? Going for training without boots, and your uncle buying you boots and stuff like that, and you mentioned the black boots, right? And you look at the kids nowadays, everything is provided for them,
Yes, correct.
and the first thing they ask for is, where is my jersey, where are my boots, and the boots are in white, black, and white, red, blue, and what have
Orange.
you, right? Orange. It's you just look at that, and from where you came from, right? It's amazing, right? It's like
That's true. I mean, yeah, the kids now and where you,
Yeah,
your generation,
yeah,
my generation,
yeah.
and this generation are
Yeah.
completely different.
Right.
And I think it's important, that we must accept these kind of things.
Right, of
Now
course.
things are like this.
Yep.
If they're sugar coated now, it's because this is how it is in their
Right.
generation. Our generation was tough, lah.
right,
but
right.
yeah, I mean,
And I want to say this as well, to all coaches in school especially, and teachers, please take the players in because they are good enough and not because their parents were once footballers. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for highlighting that as well, Adu. Now, your coaches in school, like you said, who gave you the best advice, like growing up especially, right? Because the younger you are, the advice must stick, especially the good ones, right? What could you remember the best advice that you were given?
well, my life actually changed when I was in Sec 2
Okay.
in St. Gabriel's Secondary. And Clement was the coach. Clement, who's now with Hougang. So Clement really woke me up one day. I was playing truant, not going for training and all that because I think I was good. No need to go training, just can come. So Clement woke me up and said, "Hey, if you don't wake up your idea, you will never be a footballer. Trust me. Believe me on this, you will never be a footballer. You don't know what it takes to be a footballer. You know who I work with?" Clement will mention all these names and say, "Do you want to be like them? They were nothing like what you are doing right now. They didn't do any of what you did right now." So this thing really woke me up. And when I went back home that day, I can still remember when I went back home, I cried in the shower. And I told myself, if I want to be a footballer, I have to be serious about
Yeah.
how I'm, treading my path.
Brilliant. And I think sometimes some of us, me included and everyone else, right, we need a kick up our asses sometimes, a wake up call, like you said, right, to just, get it into your head that, this is not the right way to go about doing things and
Correct,
stuff. It's great. It's great. And Clement, well done, man.
Is it okay?
Why
Is
not?
it okay if we swear in this podcast?
If you want to.
Okay. Just to tell you exactly how it is, lah.
You mean your conversation with Clement? Or was it something else?
My conversation with Clement was, you better wake up your fucking ideas.
Okay.
And a lot of swearing, lah. Clement that time was very hot-tempered, But I don't know, because we are young kids and
Right.
we need to be brought up the hard way. And
Right.
he did a brilliant job, I feel.
Okay.
With me and with other players.
Now again, like I said, right, it could have gone either way.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gone,
It could have gone really bad.
Yes,
really
exactly.
bad. Because where I came from in Seletar Hills, all my friends, they went another direction. But I mean, thankfully, I had the right guidance around me.
When you said another direction means what?
So some of them, they stopped playing. They went to party, drinking, this and that. But I still have my close friends
Good.
who are close to me now, lah.
Nice, brilliant. Now I also hear that you weren't a defensive midfielder before.
No.
You started out as a.
When I was in primary school, I played left or right midfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
I like to receive the ball, run directly at defenders.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I went to secondary school, I was a bit taller than some of the boys.
Yep.
So I naturally transitioned into defensive mid. and that was when I started to play defensive mid lah.
Was there somebody who told you, okay, I think you should go back to DM, or you decided, okay, I'm not going to be a midfielder anymore?
Not really lah. I mean, naturally, in Seletar Hills, right, most of the players playing in the court were ball players,
Right.
and they like to receive the ball and distribute like this.
Yep.
So I learned from players like there was this guy named Terence, and
Okay.
my very close friend until now, Ganesh.
Okay.
You know, he was a very good player, number 10.
Right.
Loves to get on the ball and distribute.
Right.
And watching this, I said, wow, this is just beautiful.
Right.
Watching them play.
Okay. And where is Mr. Ganesh now?
Ganesh now is teaching PE in the international school, Indian International School in Punggol.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, I want to ask you this question. Growing up at that age, secondary school, after you got effed by Clement, did you ever think that you were going to be a pro footballer? You would be donning the national colours, you would be going overseas to play somewhere abroad, you'd be playing for the best club in Singapore at the moment. Did you ever think then, like, maybe I had a little bit of chance to do that?
When Clement spoke to me,
Yeah.
on that day, that was when it really turned my life around. So I told myself, you know, I want to play football. I want to play football to make it a living. I want to be in the national team, the youth national team. And then one of my teammates got called up into the national under 14.
Okay.
But I didn't get called up.
Right.
Then I was like, fuck. He's in the national under 14. I didn't know there was a bloody national under 14.
Who was this, by the way?
This was Faris. He was a centre back.
Okay.
So I didn't know there was a national under 14. And I was like, everybody was saying, wow, look at Faris, national team,
Right.
national team. And I was like very jealous lah. So I told myself, I used that fuel to fire myself and do a lot of extra work just to make it into the national under 14.
Right.
Where Tajili was the captain.
Tajeli, my ex-student. So you were drafted to the NFA system at that time.
Yes,
that
correct.
was the NFA system, right? Now talk us through this NFA system, your experience there. How was it like? You were there for how long? Roughly from 14 to
14, 15, 16, 17.
Before
But
you
I
went to-
didn't play 17. From 16, I went 18.
Correct. So what was the experience like there?
NFA, you know, it's the best players in the country.
Okay.
All together, the young best under 14 players in the country come together and form one team.
Okay.
So it was quite a toxic environment, at the same time intense.
Oh, this is interesting. Why toxic?
Yeah, because everybody thinks they are the best at 14 years old, and everybody wants to play their football. So when you come there and you're not from the sports schools, or you're not playing in the COE leagues or the Home United or something, you are just an outsider. So to get in, to break into the team is difficult. To break into the first 11 or even to get selected in the first 20 is more difficult.
Okay. How about the coaches then? Like who were the coaches at that time under 14?
At that time was Coach Bala,
Right.
who after that coached me in Home United,
yep.
and Coach Sharin, who is still there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach Sharin.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just want to get back to the toxic part. You are trying to say that those players were there at that time, right? They think highly of themselves. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a sports school boy,
Okay.
you're considered best in the country to
Okay.
be in a sports school. So the best players, they will be in one corner, there will be one clique.
Right.
And then the mainstream boys who from other schools, from Sengkang Sec, St. Gabriel's, they are all one clique.
Okay.
And so it's quite hard to break that bubble
Right.
to get into this.
Was it always the case until obviously the NFA is no more around, right? But do you think it's like that?
I think once, when you're new, it's like that. But once you're in the team for 1 or 2 years, then things will start to be much, much easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you must show that you are good enough lah. Once
Okay.
you start to show this and all that, then people will start to respect you.
Right. Did the coaches have any say in this? Like, I don't know, trying to get the boys together instead of having cliques like that?
Sometimes the coach don't see this lah. Because
Okay.
the coach will gather at the players on the field, and on the
Right,
field
right,
things
right.
look okay. But off the field, when you come, you shake people's hand.
Okay.
Sometimes
Okay.
they don't look at you, shake like this.
yeah.
And then you feel, what? Shit.
Right, right.
Do I fit in? Am I supposed,
Right.
Yeah.
So this is my question to you. And again, you see, this is very interesting. For one thing, we go to another, right? Do you then think that the best players were ever from that so-called sports school path, or were there many others who were not called?
Yeah, there were many others. But these guys were early bloomers.
Which one? Who are you talking about?
The guys who were already in the team.
Yes.
They were probably early bloomers.
Right.
They peak at a young age, and they were already there. And you know, as we know, football is form is temporary. You know,
Right.
you have to keep working on your craft until you make it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting. How about the progressions that you made, the improvement you made? I'm sure you did. You know, playing for the NFA for a couple of years, I'm sure you made improvements, right?
Yeah, but a lot of the work had to be done behind the scenes because training is only 2 hours. We train every day, but it's only 2 hours. So I would go back home to Seletar, find a wall, start kicking against the wall, hours and hours. Saturday, Sunday, if my friends going out, I'll say no. I need to do something, you know, and I'll start training.
Even then?
Yes.
Nice.
Even then, take off my shirt, just a short, you know, but nobody care, you know, because estate. So
right.
you can just do your own work.
How about your thoughts on, obviously the NFA? It's not no more in existence, right? What do you think about that?
I think NFA helped the players a lot, and even the other teams, you know, like the Gombak under 14, Woodlands under 14, all this. It helped the younger players to get a club and to start playing at an early age, and that's where the good players came from. If you see from the past generations, so I think it's a bit sayang lah.
Right. Let's talk about Young Lions. You played there from 2012 to 2015. How was the experience like there?
Young Lions was good. The first time I played in Young Lions was 2011 when I was in NFA under 18.
Right.
I got called up for one of the training sessions. So it was a few of us. It was me, Tajili, and 3 other players.
Okay.
So we were called up to go to Young Lions and train. And
wait, let me ask you, were there cliques then?
In Young Lions, no lah. But NFA boys coming into Young Lions, the experience is just daunting because Young Lions that time was highly rated.
Okay.
You know, you got the Haris, the Gabriel and all these players. So when you look at them, you're like, wow.
Right.
Safwan, you know, you're like, shit. Their boots, you know, the way they...
Yeah.
And training was like crazy. And what our mentality then was not to shy away, you know. We were like, let's show what NFA is made of. You know, we were like, we love that kind of challenge. We relish that challenge.
Yeah. And it was a good experience for you then?
Yes, it was good. Because that time also, they trained in Jalan Besar.
Right.
And the field was, you know, the dark and light coloured ones. Those days lah. And seeing that on TV and then you step into the field, it's just like quite a surreal experience.
So it was at Young Lions that you had your very first game as a professional footballer, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was against?
My first S-League game?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I forgot. I started against, I think, Brunei DPMM.
Or was it Balestier?
Oh yeah, it was Balestier. It was Balestier, yes.
It was Balestier, wasn't it? It was a 1-1 draw, I think.
Yes, I started the game, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
How was that? Okay, what went through your mind? Did you know that you're going to start, or is just like before the game you tell
one day before game, I was playing in the first 11.
Who was the coach then?
Coach Robin.
Robin. Okay.
Robin, who is now in LCS. So one day before the game, I knew it was going to start, so I was very nervous and all that. I didn't care about my jersey number, whatever. My number was 29 from NFA, the number.
Right.
So I was very nervous, all that, but I got very good advice from the senior players like Toto, Sheriff, all this. They just said, what you do in NFA, just do the same here.
Okay.
So my job was very simple. They had a very good, Balestier had a very good number 10 or attacking midfielder. Okay. So my job was just to mark him.
Right.
And so it was quite a straightforward game for me lah.
Right. And it ended up in a 1-1 draw, and obviously you played quite a number of games from then on, you know, for the Young Lions. You spent 4 years, and also during that time, we're going to talk about the national team later on. But this is just about the SEA Games. During that time, you won the SEA Games bronze, right? What was the experience like donning the national colours in terms of the age group teams, right?
Well, going there, you know, I felt was a bit early for me also lah.
Really?
Yeah, because it was only me and Iqbal who were the youngest players there, and I was the youngest of the youngest.
Right.
So I didn't participate in the competition, and it was an early experience for me. And coach also mentioned to me that he wants me to be there to see what is it like to be with these players, and so it was a good experience to see that. And for me, the level there was one step ahead of where I was at that time.
Even at that time, right?
Yeah.
Right. Will we ever win a goal?
Perhaps in the future, you know, we can try. I mean, nothing is impossible, you know, but we have to head in the right direction.
Okay. Let's talk about Hougang.
Okay.
2016. How did that transfer come about?
So when I finished Young Lions, I actually got offers from other clubs home. actually all the clubs
Yep.
spoke to me
Yep.
except the Albirex and Brunei.
Okay.
And so for me, the important thing was playing time. And at 2016, I wanted to show myself in the national team because 2013 I got called up,
Right.
and I wanted to be first 11 ready.
Yep.
After a couple of years, 15 and then 16. So I was telling myself I want to compete against the other midfielders.
Right.
If I go to Home United, they have the bunch of good players there, and then I might not be playing time. Tampines also same story.
Right.
So the next offer was Hougang,
Right.
and Clement was there in Hougang. And so when I went there to talk with them, they reassured me about my playing time and what I can do and how I fit into the puzzle.
Okay.
And so that really, attracted me to sign with Hougang.
How old were you at that time?
I was 21, turning 22.
And at that time, when you got into the team, your role was already a DM.
Yes, defensive mid, because they want to play with two pivot,
Okay.
two number 6.
Right.
So I will be fit in one of the number 6 lah.
And I read this from somewhere. I don't know whether it's true. Okay, you tell me whether it's true or not. You said at the beginning of the season that you wanted to win the Young Player of the Year award for
Yes.
that particular year in 2016. Was that true?
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Because when before I start the season in December, I told myself I want to be the Young Player of the Year award. That's the only way I can get recognition. That's the only way I can even knock on the doors of the national team. So I said I want to be the Young Player of the Year award.
Wow. And you got the Young Player of the Year award.
Yeah, and it was not easy. I had to wake up every day at 5 o'clock when it was still dark,
Right.
and I will go to the gym,
Right.
come back home and rest, and then I'll go to training, and then after training I'll do some more work. So it was
And it's
really-
all this on your own.
Yes, on my own. It was really a year that I worked really hard just to impose my stature on the pitch.
Nobody knows this. I mean, if nobody is close to you or no one knows you, nobody would have known the sacrifices and the dedication.
No, nobody knew this story. No,
Exactly.
only my sister who would see me waking up in the morning, and by the time she wake up, I'm already done. I finished one training already. I
Yep.
used to have 2 to 3 trainings a day.
Right.
Mm.
Wow. I gotta congratulate you for 2016, man. No, seriously, it's something that comes from you, from within, not from someone else. The motivation comes from within, and
Yep.
that is priceless. And what was the feeling like when you won it?
I felt like 1 year's work was accomplished.
Yeah.
And someone actually mentioned to me on the same day where I won the award,
Yeah.
the hard work starts now. And that really woke me up lah.
Can you tell me who's this person?
I forgot, After I took the award,
You mean there at that on the
yes,
after the-
I went out to the auditorium. I went out of the hall, and the first thing I wanted to do was just go straight to my car and go back home.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to see anybody else. I don't want things to get into my head.
Right.
I'm the kind of person that, if somebody praises me or something,
Right.
I try to block it out
Yep.
immediately,
Yep.
So I was driving back, and people were calling me, and
Yep,
then
yep.
someone on the phone said, Anu, the hard work starts now. It's just the first step.
Right.
Now you got this. Those who won the Young Player of the Year, either they go up or they go down. So you choose what you want.
You were saying you want to block those things out of your head, right? Trying not to get things into your head. Now after this podcast, I think you need to block further, because when people hears this, they will know the dedication and the sacrifice that you put in, and you got to thank that guy who actually told you that, because that is one of the best advice you can ever get.
Correct.
Because to break into something, okay, it could be the national team, it could be the club football, it could be anything, winning an award, right? That is actually easier than to maintain,
Correct.
to keep your place,
Correct.
to fight for your place.
Yeah.
That is
The maintenance part is the hardest.
Right.
The getting it is the easiest.
right.
And growing up, from where I came from, right, it's very hard to forget where you come from. You try not to be some bigger than what you are.
Yeah.
You always stay grounded because you remember where you come from.
Brilliant. I like that a lot. Now, you won the Young Player of the Year award playing in that position, right? What do you think? Of course, of the hard work and stuff, right? In terms of the football wise, in the field, okay, what really made you excel? The footballing part. You said you played with a double pivot, right? Was that something that you like, or you prefer to play as your own alone? And who were the players at that time who helped you click?
So Double pivot is basically two holding
Right.
midfielders lah. But my role at that time was more of a number 8.
Okay.
So I had to go up and down, box to box midfielder.
Okay.
And we had my number 10 was Fumiya, who
Okay.
won the Player of the Year
Yep.
the year before.
Yep.
And my striker was Stipe.
Wow. Okay.
And so this Stipe just came into the S League.
Okay.
And so with all these players, and besides Stipe was Joseph Kaplan. He was our captain. So with all these players around me, it was very easy to play with them because
Okay.
they are all hard workers.
Right.
They like to chase, and our philosophy in Hougang was first to go in hard.
Right.
And so it really suited my style of play lah.
Right.
So
And
it was easy to play in that team.
Clement, we know how you play now. We go in hard first.
Clement will always mention, be a bastard. Be a fucking bastard. You think they care about you? So be a bastard.
Right. Now, fast forward to 2017. Home United. I think that was when you were in NS as well, right? You finished third in the league. And then the next year, the following year in 2018, Home United won the AFC Asian Cup, ASEAN Zonal Championships. And those were the time when I was doing commentary on AFC as well. And you guys beat Ceres Negros again.
Yep.
Yeah, the same team that you lost to the previous year. Talk to me about the HUFC team, that Home United team.
Yeah, the team was taken by Coach Aidil.
Right.
And there was no superstar or anything in the team. And it was very easy to join into the team. I think I'm quite a likable person,
Right.
I'm not like a show off or anything.
Right.
So it's very easy to blend into the team. And we played fast counter-attacking football.
Okay.
That was our philosophy in Home United. And so it worked when we went overseas to AFC. We didn't fear any team or anything. We were looking forward to the crowd and all that. And that campaign was really exciting and successful campaign for us.
Right. Tell me about your relationship with Aidil. How is it?
We have a generally professional relationship. Some
Okay.
people think that we are a lot closer than what we are, but actually,
You're not?
I mean we are close, but in a professional way.
Right.
His football is very simple, and
Okay.
easy to understand, and his trainings are really, really difficult. Like when I went to Kedah last year, I told him, Coach, if you're my coach for the next few years, I can play until 40.
Why?
Because his trainings are hard. His trainings we do possession, we
Right.
do like defensive attack, we do games.
Yep.
And it's really good, you really feel like fit.
Okay. And of course, you won that ASEAN zone. Playing against Ceres Negros. That was a good team, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ceres Negros was really good at the time,
Yeah.
And we played against them 3 times because they are in our group stage.
Yep.
So in all the 3 times, we actually adopted a soak and counter strategy because it was, if we open up and play, it would have been very difficult for us.
Nice.
So it was all about being tactically disciplined. We played a 4-5-1 throughout the competition, and it really worked well for us.
Nice. Well, let's move forward. For those of you listening and watching as well, please subscribe if you haven't done so. We are on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube as well. And we fast forward. We speak about the national team, right? Now, you were first called up in 2013, which was earlier, right? Very much earlier in 2013. What was your reaction when you got that call? And who was it?
Coach Byrne.
Right. What was it?
I was really excited. Coach Byrne was speaking to me and saying things like, you're going to be the future of the national team. Your position, you have to fight for your spot now.
Did you think that he was lying?
No, actually at that time I was full of confidence,
Right.
and I believe in myself.
Okay.
So I was like, it gave me extra motivation lah. And so coming in, my first debut, I played on the right midfield. I came in for Indra Shadan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that same year or?
In the same year, 2013, yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, 14, 15, 16, 14 and 15, it was like in and out of the national team. So it was quite disappointing also. And until now, I mean, 25 caps is like, for me, quite low lah.
I wanted to ask you actually, my next question was, right, you have 25? 25 now, right?
I think around 24, 25.
Yeah,
lah.
till date.
Mm.
You should have gotten more by now?
Yeah, because Zul, I think Faris or Zul came in at the same time with me. Faris was 1 year ago, and Zul, I think, was 2013.
Right.
And Zul has 50 caps now,
Yeah.
but I have 25. So over the years, I realized that chasing the caps is not what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, if I play If I get called up, okay.
Yeah.
If I play, I play. If I don't, I don't. It's for national cause.
Right.
Yeah, in the national team, what I realize is you cannot be selfish
Mm.
and start saying that you want to play and all this, because this is the best 20 players in the country. If you play, you play. If you don't play, okay. Whatever is for the country.
I like you just what you just said. Can you just rewind a bit, right? You said that you don't want to go chasing the caps.
Yeah. When you start to chase the caps, then you start to get depressed. You start to get angry. You know, you and your anger and your attitude will change the way the team is, the feeling in the team. So when you're a team of 20, you go into competition like Suzuki Cup. If you don't play, it will be very disappointing.
Correct.
Because you work so hard for Suzuki Cup just to be called up and be selected in Suzuki Cup for one whole year. So if you don't play, you need to think about the team and where the direction they are heading. If the team does well, you do well. If the team wins the Suzuki Cup, you're going to win a Suzuki Cup.
Right.
Whether you play or you don't play.
Right.
So in national team, I think this is the mentality people need to adopt. You know, you are the best 20 in the country, and whoever plays at that time is for the country, is for the team.
This is brilliant, and it's well said as well. You say you cannot be selfish when you are called for the national team.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
I mean, you learn that over the years.
Yeah.
At first, you won't learn.
Right.
13, 14, 15, I'm like, hey, what? I'm good enough, what?
Right.
He didn't play. When we
Right.
played against this team, I played better than him. But over the years, you learn, you know, to come down.
But
a bit.
that is pretty much human nature. You know when you don't play, especially if you are playing well that time, will think, "Damn, I should be, at least maybe come on."
Yeah,
maybe.
2018, I had a fantastic year. But the Suzuki Cup, I didn't even play.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just accepted it. It's part of life and it's part of football.
Right, and I like the way you said it as well. When you can't be selfish when it comes to the national team. Do you think there is a reason why? Just in your opinion, why you haven't featured more? Because now you're on 25. Why haven't you? Why do you think so? Is it because maybe in that position you have someone else already? Maybe 2 or 3 players, so you got to fight all the time. What is it?
Honestly, I don't point fingers or anything lah. I only want to blame myself. You know, I feel like maybe I should have shown more in training or something. Yes, in front of me there's 5 other midfielders, so there's total 6 centre midfielders.
Yep.
So naturally, there will be times where I play, there will be times I won't play.
Yeah.
In 2020, I got plagued with injuries and I was not taking care of myself. So I learned over the years.
Right. I didn't ask you just now. What was the feeling like, right? The very first time when you put on the national jersey, because that was your dream before, in St. Gabe's and whatever, right? And then the flag on your chest, singing the national anthem.
Yeah,
what
the
was
senior
that like?
national team. Yeah.
What was that like?
It was quite a big experience for me lah. But looking back at it right now, like it's a big responsibility as well.
Yeah?
You are a national player, public figure. You carry the flag on your chest. So you need to take it with both hands. You need to.
And I also hear about players sacrificing for the nation, playing wise. Do you think it's a given? It's you're a professional footballer. You're playing for the national team.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your question was the person who played for the national team.
It shouldn't be. It's not a sacrifice. You're playing for the national team.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a sacrifice. I mean, you're a professional footballer. It's part of your job to
Right.
play for the national team. But at the same time, because national team don't pay your salary. If you look at it at that aspect,
Yes,
the club pays your salary.
Yes.
It could be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways to look at it.
Right. So you're being very, very diplomatic, but it's fine, because I'm just getting onto something, but it's fine. Now, your personal goals now, from now till I don't know when you retire, right? Touch wood. Ambition for the national team and your goals for the national team, personally for you, right? What is that?
Firstly, national team, it will be to win the Suzuki Cup at least once. Go to the final.
One
at
coming
least.
soon this year.
Yes, this year. Yeah. Last year, we got knocked out of the semi-final. I don't think it's anything to be proud of. I mean, yes, we made it past the stage after so long, but we can do better, and we should be in the final.
Did you think we not say could? I think we could have made it to the final. But what I'm saying is, were we good enough to be in the final to meet the likes of Vietnam or Thailand? In your own opinion?
Okay, Vietnam and Thailand, they are top 2. Let's not, they are top 2. But after that, the ones that can compete with Vietnam and Thailand, I feel like Singapore have the potential because of our tactical discipline.
Right.
If you see against Indonesia, they had maybe most of the ball, but because we know what to do tactically,
Yeah.
and that was our edge against the other teams.
Correct.
Going into most tournaments, this is the feeling in the national team.
Okay.
And we were just one penalty away from the
Right.
finals.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I feel like maybe we can do something if we give our best.
So your personal goal is to
Probably win a Suzuki Cup.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got the Asian qualifier soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
In June, is it in June?
Yep, June.
So probably you would hopefully feature in that as well.
Yeah, I hope to.
But first we got to get a national team coach first.
Yes. We need to get a coach. We need to sort that out.
Right. Let's move on from the national team and talk about playing overseas.
Mm.
You know, I think we all had hopes when we were playing as a youngster, going and playing professional football. We wanted to, play overseas. But was that one of your dreams to play overseas?
Yes, for sure.
Forever, since
Yes,
young?
for sure. Yes.
Yep.
First, when I was young, I wanted to play for Liverpool. Crazy.
I wanted to ask you who's your favorite team. No need to ask really. Liverpool. Oh, one of the best teams around right now, right?
But you're Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I am. So Kedah was the team.
Mhm.
Was it by choice? Why Kedah? And how did this move come about?
Basically, I had not so many offers.
Okay.
There was just one or two offers.
Okay.
Kedah was one of them.
Right.
And Kedah is essentially the second biggest team in Malaysia.
Okay.
So it will be a nice place to break in and try to play,
Right.
And so when Kedah called, it was straightforward for me to say
Right.
yes. Yep.
Nice. And obviously, with the help of Coach Aidil, right?
Mhm.
I'm sure he helped you in a way,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And what was your experience there? Like in terms of, firstly, let's talk about teammates wise.
Okay.
What was the experience like there?
When I first went for the training session, I think everyone was very friendly.
Okay.
And they all welcomed me so warmly, and I was so touched that the first training session I was playing well. The first week I was playing well, and ever since then it just took off naturally lah. They just naturally like me,
Nice.
And I was quite quiet also down there.
Right.
I don't complain about things, and so when you're a foreigner there, you need to respect the house rules. And so it's many of the foreigners, when they go into the team, they think, okay, I'm a foreigner, here I am, I'm this and that. But no, you must understand, this is their country, this is their home, this is their team. So you need to respect this first, and players need to realize this.
Was there pressure? Because you are a foreigner, you got to be, in terms of levels and standards, right? You got to be higher. But was there pressure?
Honestly, I didn't feel pressure.
Okay.
Honestly, like
How come?
going there. That's the thing. Now I'm in sailors also. If you ask me, is there pressure to win the league, to win every game? There is pressure, but I don't feel the pressure. It's part of the job. I've been in this environment before,
Right.
so I like this environment. I thrive in environments like this. So in Kedah, it was really straightforward. We want to be competing with Johor. Last year, the year before we finished second. This year we must finish second or first. Try,
Okay.
So it's a nice environment to work in.
Nice. And we talk about teammates and stuff like that, right? How about the foreigners, the other foreigners? Who were they?
Sherman,
Yep.
he's from Liberia national team player. Kipre is a Malaysian player who has been there for very long.
Okay.
Renan from Brazil and Rabi Ataya from Lebanon.
And you live there, as in when you were there, the accommodation wise, you were alone?
Yes, each foreigner get one house to themselves. You choose either condo or landed.
Right.
You get one car as well.
Right.
But because my condo had 4 rooms and it was so big,
Okay.
I asked my number 8 from Lebanon, Rabi Ataya,
Okay.
to come and live with me.
Okay.
And so he moved in and we stayed together the whole year.
Nice.
Mm.
You said this in an interview, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Kedah,
Mm.
the players are like gods.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you say so?
Because when people look at us on the street, it's like they see something huge that they will never see in their entire life.
Really?
Yes, it's blown out of proportion also, the way they react, Hey, play Kedah, hey. Yeah, everybody wants a photo, everybody wants to just get to know you and be your friend. Some say, can I come to your house? Can I have your number? This and that.
Okay.
So you just want to buy your food, straight away get into the car and drive off.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you had to like sign autographs everywhere you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. Take pictures, sign autograph. It's a very nice feeling. You feel
Right.
like a footballer.
Right,
That's the
right.
thing playing in Malaysia.
Okay.
You have the team bus. You really feel like a footballer in Malaysia, like
It's
a proper footballer.
it's basically the culture.
Yes, football is everything to them, and in Kedah especially because it's quite a rural town. So the only pride they have, and maybe they look forward to, is the football team.
Yeah.
So
It's something to look forward to after work and stuff
Yes,
like that, right?
yes.
It's their like
It's- yeah.
their go-to.
correct, Kedah is still a kampung even until now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people there, they to see their football team do well is everything to them.
But you do know that you had big shoes to fill, right? Because Sundram played for Kedah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was the
so
last.
they still think about him, the fans.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah?
Some of them they say, hey, last time Sundram play here because he was the last Indian to be a foreigner there. What?
Right.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I was. That was in my mind, but it didn't really affect me lah.
Do you have any interesting experience with a fan there? Like I don't know, could be anything, right?
Yeah, like a fan asked me, guy asked me if he can come to my house.
To do what?
I don't know this thing. Hey, can I come to your house like lepak like this?
A fan.
Yeah, then I don't know what to say. I don't want to say. I don't want to push him and say, hey, what, you crazy or what? I just say, no, at my house got people busy.
Right.
This and that. Yeah, there are some crazy experiences also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this. I asked you this offline, right? Standards wise, right? Now, what is the standard of football there? If you compare that to, okay, let's take away LCS, right? Maybe against no disrespect, right? Belsa Khalsa, for example. How do you compare in terms of standards? If you play in a 20 game, 30 game season, right? Where would
Well, Malaysian teams, they have their main team and then their reserve team.
Okay.
Reserve team is usually all young players.
Okay.
So we're talking about 17 to 21.
so they play in a reserve league?
No, they play in the first. Because Kedah, we don't have a second team.
Okay.
Selangor has Selangor 2.
Okay.
Selangor 2 plays in the reserve league,
Okay.
the Liga Perdana.
Right.
The Premier League. So, for example, Kedah, we don't have a second team, so
Okay.
they all play in the first team. The players aged 17 to 21, they will join the senior team training.
Okay.
And their standard is not 17, 20, 21. They can fight with the
I
senior players.
see.
And for example, if you have 11 against 11, 5 foreigners in one side,
Right.
first 11 against the young team, the
Yep.
young team will beat the first team.
Really?
All the time.
All the
1-0,
time?
2-0. And coach will get angry. Coach will get angry because until we score, the first team score, he will stop the training. Yeah, because the level is good.
Okay.
They will pass, they will run.
Okay.
They won't stop.
Okay.
It's really difficult.
So to answer your question, to answer my question, right? Where would a local team right now fit in? Like
If they were to play right now against some of the Malaysian teams, I talk about like Selangor or something. I think the standard is quite far. I mean, not say quite far, not say very very far, but Selangor will have the upper hand.
right. Okay.
Teams like that, because the Malaysian teams, like I said, the training and the games, it's really intense.
Okay.
The players are good.
Right. Nice. Now I want to talk about the sacrifices you made playing overseas, right? What were there, especially as a Singaporean going out there alone, living alone, right? What was the sacrifices?
Okay, first of all, you have to leave your family behind.
Yep.
Secondly, you go into Malaysia, like I mentioned, another person's home. You need to start to respect the house rules.
Okay.
So you need to change the
Like
way
what?
you are.
Give me an example.
Like for example, if you're going for massage and you see players are in the massage too, even though you are foreigner, senior player, you need to respect some of the rules over there. If some things don't go your way, like you don't have your salary on time, you don't have this and that, you need to learn how to behave in those kind of environments.
I see.
Yep. And so being overseas, playing overseas 1 year, and not having anyone around you, it really helped me mature a lot.
Okay.
And carry myself and as how a foreigner should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any regrets?
No. When I come back here, now I still behave like I'm a foreigner in Lion City. And the
Nice.
people look at me as a foreigner. So that helps me, be on my toes. I
Nice.
don't consider myself like local player in Sailors.
Right. How did this move come about? Since you started talking about LCS, let's talk about LCS. How did this move come about?
Initially, I wanted to stay overseas for at least 3 years like this. But the only thing that will tempt me to come back to Singapore is a long-term contract. So I'm talking 3 or more years. A club actually offered me in Singapore 5 years to come back to Singapore.
Was that Tampines?
I was quite close to
Was that Tampines?
signing for
Okay. Alright.
quite close to signing for the club. Actually 90% close already.
Okay.
But I was a bit also at the same time concerned with the club's direction, you know. It's important to have direction in the team. So Sailors also talked to me, and Sailors mentioned that they have something for me, you know, and this and that. So we worked out the details, and I signed 3 years with Sailors.
Right. As opposed to 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me about this. What impressed you most about the LCS setup? Okay, forget about the negotiation part, right? You done deal, signed contract and whatever. So when you stepped into maybe the first training session, and what was it about the LCS project that you think, okay, this is something different?
So, you know, when I stepped into the training and all that, I realized that players are already there earlier and they're doing their pre-training work.
Right.
So pre-training work can be weights, can be bands, stretching, so many things. And this is a culture in Line City Sailors.
Right.
Sometimes players come in 45 minutes or half an hour earlier. They start to do training.
Okay.
They are already there. They started their training. And so this really rub off on me. Like right now, when I come to training, I'll come earlier, and I already start doing my pre-training work.
Yeah. Tell us how many coaching staff are there in the first team setup?
We have our coach.
This is more than the players, right?
No lah. It's about more than 10, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have a coach. But everyone knows their role. And everyone does their role.
Right.
To the best. You have someone who is going to make protein shake and amino drinks for you.
Yep.
Recovery drinks for you. And then you just go to him and tell him what you want.
Right.
We have so many sports trainers doing massage, stretching. Whatever you need is there.
Right.
You just need to ask.
So when you signed for LCS, right, was the roles spelled out to you? Like what position you're going to play, or is there a couple of positions that you are or you might be able to play or something like that? Or what was your role predominantly?
Well, I came in, I signed as a number 6.
Right.
To partner Shadan and, you know, try to work around the team, you know. And it's very straightforward. You know, they know I can play centre back. They know I can play centre mid. I can even play right back or left back.
Okay.
Because I was there in Home United before, it was quite easy for me to break into the team.
Right. You mentioned some of the players here, and tell me about your relationship on the pitch with Shadan. Because I commentated on your game a week ago, or slightly less than a week ago, against Hougang. And I mentioned this on live.
Okay.
And I mentioned this, and I said that the happiest player at LCS is Shadan at the moment, because your presence in the middle of the park in the number 6 allows him to roam a little bit more, go on further forward. Because that game against Hougang, he was up there in the penalty area a couple of times, and I've never seen that, right? In a Shadan team, or in a team with Shadan, right? So is that the truth? Is that really something that you guys have been working on and saying that, okay, Shadan, you go on, I'm just going to sit?
Actually, you know, coach actually mentioned that if we ever have to move into a back three, building up from 3, so I will usually be the one who drop, and Shadan can be a bit more higher up. But if it goes vice versa, then I will be higher up and Shadan is the one that will drop. But because in that game, Hougang was attacking through our channels, and in the first half they were finding quite a couple of players, so I had to try to cover up more of the space. And because I know how to, you know, maybe they call it curi space and defend, so I generally adapted more of a back role, number 6, and then I try to do the dirty work lah.
Right.
Yeah. And mentioning Shadan, you know, I'm learning from him every day. I even went to the team and I told him that I want to learn from you, and he said, no lah, I want to learn from you. Then I mean, we have our strengths, and so it's good that we can learn from each other. And every day when I go to training, I watch him, I see what he does, and I try to copy.
Tell me some of the things that the things that you see during a training session that you say, wow, this guy. I'm not only talking about Shadan, I'm talking about the other players, right? Like what are the simple things that they do that you think,
when it comes to like Shadan, I give you an example. When we are doing like 11 against 11, and we are shifting,
Yeah,
switching the ball from side to side. I just see at which time he checks his shoulder.
Okay.
What is he looking for?
Yeah.
Um,
Off the ball, you mean?
Off the ball,
Yeah.
yeah. What is he looking for, and what is on his mind when he tries to drop here,
Yeah.
Then I will try to figure out, okay. He's just buying space for someone to move so that his
Yeah.
space is open up.
Yeah.
And I give you an example of Diego,
Yeah.
who when I first met him in Line City Sailors, when I first came, he seemed like a very relaxed player who doesn't really want to Brazilians,
Yeah.
they naturally have it, they
Yeah.
don't have to work. But Diego is one of the hardest workers also in
Yeah?
the team. I mean, he's building his strength, and in one of the challenge he had in the game against the Hougang number 30, and
Yeah.
he bodied him off the ball.
Right,
It was
right.
not just a one-off thing. We have been working very hard in Sailors. We have
okay.
gym 3 days before a game,
Right.
or 2 days before a game, and
Right.
we have gym twice a week.
Right.
And it's all incorporated in the training.
Yeah,
and
yep,
so
yep.
it really helped us a lot.
Amazing. Well, that's professionalism for you, isn't it? And I think that going forward, I think that should be the way in terms of clubs in Singapore. So good luck. Well, before we wrap up, Anu, there's a few things that we should talk about, or I want to know at least, right, on your personal thoughts and stuff like that. I am looking at the current national team. I just googled it
Okay.
yesterday on Wikipedia.
Okay.
And obviously, I've been doing a commentary. I did the one on the World Cup in a couple of months ago, or last year actually. And right now, I look at the list. There's only one Indian player in the national team. Maybe a year ago there was Madhu, right, together with you yourself. Why? Do you have an answer? Why? What's going on? What's going on with our Indian youth?
To be honest with you, I don't really know. And
Okay.
I like that you brought this up.
Yep.
Because I feel like, growing up from Indian family, to be a sportsman or tell your parents that you want to be a sportsman it takes a lot of risk. And it takes a lot of guts. Because Indian family, they want you to study. They want to, so that they can tell their relatives, my son went to NUS, my son went to here.
No, wait, hold on. You can continue after this. Now, for those of you who are listening and watching it, we are not being racist. Okay, it is just how it is, and it's nothing to do against other races or what, Malays or that they don't want to study, Chinese they want to study, or whatever. Nothing to do with that. It's just that it is in the culture, the Indian
Yes,
culture,
correct.
the Indian parents, the old school. You be a doctor. Just shut up and be a doctor.
First of all, we are minorities.
Yeah.
So if you want to do from a minority, if you do a minor job, it's really looked down upon. The least they want you to do is to be someone respectable,
Right.
and that is coming through studies.
Right.
So moving into sports and
Yeah.
transitioning into that is like something that is probably on the back of their mind, lah.
Okay.
And so I think that is one of the reasons why we see lesser Indians playing, maybe. Or maybe some of them, they don't really find motivation to play in Singapore.
Okay.
Sometimes maybe they look down on the league.
Right.
I'm talking about some players,
Right.
football players, young football players
Yeah.
who think, as league, boring lah, cannot make money, or,
Okay.
what is this? Like, I want to
Okay,
play
okay.
here.
What do you think about that then? Like to these kids, to these Indian guys, right, who are coming up and they say, I'm not going to be that. I'd rather go and do something else.
I think it's a big waste lah. Because when you play football, you're doing what you love.
Okay.
And if you make money, it's just a bonus.
Right.
So there is a future in football, especially if you can go overseas also.
Yep.
It's a bigger future. We have seen players.
Yep.
So I think it's just a stigma. You just need to know what you want in life.
Okay, so how do we get more Indians to play then? Like how do we
Maybe
get?
put a Indian cartoon on Vasantham or something. The Japan have
Yeah.
what Subasa or something like that. His name. Because the footballer, the cartoon, he keep playing football and he winning everything.
Okay.
All the kids want to play football in Japan.
Okay.
All the J League players watch this cartoon.
Right.
So maybe a cartoon Indian player playing football.
Well, this message goes out to Vasantham, the channel. Please do something if you're a producer or what. Just get a character who plays football, become a professional player.
With a beard.
Yes, with a beard.
Number 6.
Yes, exactly. Why not, man? Why not? With an Indian name.
Generally I think it's a stigma lah,
Right.
in the Indian community,
Okay.
footballer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't get us wrong, the Indian boys and stuff, like, it's not that we don't want you to be a dancer, we don't want you to be an actor. It's fine, it's great, right? But I think sports in a way is health wise as well. It
Yes.
gives you the benefits, but there is a future. And listen, there are a couple of players in the league, the SPL, who are very good players. I'm talking about Indian players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who can really make it. People like Arish from Balestier. These are the players that I think can make it. So I think we need more of them around. The Chinese boys as well.
Correct.
Look at Gabriel, man, doing
Yes.
ever so well, right?
Yes.
That's another one to advertise for.
Mm.
Well, Anu, quick fire round. A
Okay.
couple of questions. Some are easy, some are not so easy. It depends on how you take it, right?
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
We start off with a very easy one, Anu. Favorite food?
Wait. Can pause?
Can.
Quick fire means very fast. I'm answer.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Let's go again.
Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite drink?
Koi milk tea.
Wow, what? Favorite Tamil actor?
Rajinikanth.
Favorite actress? Tamil?
I don't know.
Okay. Favorite player?
Right now,
Yep.
Thiago Alcantara. Liverpool.
Favorite local player?
Haris Harun.
Okay. Most difficult opponent you have faced? Like direct opponent, like a player, not a team, a individual player.
Probably my teammate at Kedah, number 8, Rabi Ataya.
Okay. Why?
You cannot take the ball from him.
Okay.
He's no build, nothing, but just very silky.
Skillful.
Yeah.
Great. Nice. What is your superstition before a game?
Enter the field with my right boot.
Yep.
Kiss my boot and say a bit of prayer before I
Okay.
put it on.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all. Yeah.
So you enter the field without your boots first?
No, with my right boot. With my right foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before I put on my boots, I will.
I
give
see.
it a-
Okay. Understand. But for a moment, I thought you enter the field without your boots on. Your pet peeve about footballers, something that you don't like about footballers, can be anything.
Body odor.
Okay. You have that a lot?
My team, not so much, thankfully. But I know a couple of players. I don't want to mention.
Your best mate in football?
To date,
Yeah.
probably I had a good relationship with Iqbal.
Okay.
Mm.
Your best dressed teammate?
Diego Lopez.
Really?
Mm.
What does he wear?
All the expensive stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like today he wore Gucci shoes, LV bag, I think a Palm Angel shirt. I don't know, maybe Amiri shorts. I don't know. Yeah.
Some of those names I haven't heard
Always
before in my life,
dressed to
man.
impress.
Lovely, great. The worst dressed teammate?
Oh,
Come on, you cannot say on the fans here. The truth, man, the truth.
Amirul Adli.
Why?
I don't know. He comes in weird shoes.
Okay. Are you going to win the league and Singapore Cup this season?
I hope
The best podcast in town.
this podcast.
Thank you so much. Finally, Anu, any advice to youngsters, who wants to make it big in pro football or to make any of their dreams come true, and maybe who are not confident of themselves? Yeah, any advice for them?
Yeah, just extra training. Training is everything. To be a footballer, you just need to put in work. If you're not good in something, like for example your left foot, try to work on your left foot all the time. After training, 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it's enough. And every day, there's 10 minutes and 15 minutes will accumulate, and then eventually you get better at it. So just training and training. Yeah, never stop training.
Wonderful. Thank you for being on this podcast, Anu. I think it has been a treat, and I'm sure for fans as well, football fans, and not only LCS fans. I think football fans in general, the Indian boys as well who are watching and listening in. I think there's something for us to learn here, and especially things that you said at the beginning as well. About training on your own just to get that Young Player of the Year award. I think that was something that is an eye opener as well, and how you were brought up as well, and the challenges that you faced. And obviously doing well at the moment, and I hope that you go on from strength to strength, have a good season ahead with LCS, the national team as well. We've got the qualifiers, the Asian Cup qualifiers, as well as the Suzuki Cup. I wish you all the best, Anu.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here, and I it's the first time I met you, and I think that I can really open up to you. So
Great.
Really, thank you for having me.
That has been episode number 65 of the Silverfox Hustle podcast. Again, before we go, don't forget to subscribe and follow us. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other platforms as well. Till the next time, The hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Cheers.